It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Top Out Brewery and it's a bottle of their dry hopped rye pale ale coming in at 2.8% ABV. There's a look at the bottle label, black bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening, beer in the glass then. 2.8% ABV. What do they call these? Like table beers, don't they? I've had a few that I like. The low ABV beers, the kind of the 2.5s up to 3. I've had a few I liked and I've had a few that I don't really like. It's a bit like Marmite. You get a couple of good ones, you get a couple of not so good ones. I'm hoping this is a good one. For me, the lower the ABV, they become too light and too watery. There's not too much to them. But let's hope. Let's fingers crossed on this one. It's a 3-finger white head, good levels of carbonation, golden amber in colour, aroma. Yeah, it's not too bad. You get a bit of that spicy rye coming through. And you get a little bit of kind of hop profile. A little bit kind of biscuity, a little bit of spicy rye, and then a touch of tropical fruit hop. Smells okay actually. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Fair play to Top Out Brewery. They've done a marvellous job with this. They really have. Maybe I think this is the first time I've had a rye pale ale at 2.8% ABV. And I think the rye actually is enough to carry that light ABV, that kind of 2.8%. It carries it very well because it's got quite a good body to it. And of course, you've got that nice spiciness from the rye kicking in. I hope this makes sense, but it tastes like a proper beer. It feels like a proper beer in the mouth. Some of these light kind of, I'm going to mention it one more time, then I'm going to shut up about it. These kind of light 2.8% ABV beers, or the 2.5 to 3%, some of them can be so watery and so light and so lacking in flavour that there's just no point in drinking them. I don't see the point. But this, it tastes like a proper beer. Well done, Top Out Brewery. Good levels of carbonation, excellent drinkability. Spicy rye, hoppy on the back end, nice carbonation, pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth. And I suppose the next thing I'm going to talk about is where would I drink it? In what situation? I would feel fairly comfortable if I was a designated driver. I'd feel fairly comfortable having 2 pints of this and I'd still feel confident enough to drive a car. Of course, that's all down to yourselves. If you don't feel kind of confident drinking and driving, don't bother. But generally, I can have up to a pint and be okay. At 2.8%, I'd have 2 pints of this and I'd be fine behind the wheel. Touch wood. Touch wood. I don't want to sound too irresponsible. It's not bad. So let me tell you about the Top Out label. They're all kind of mountainous. What do they call these kind of graph? It's the mountain graphs. It's the lie of the land, the lie of the mountain. And that's actually the kind of the walk through to the top of the peak of this mountain when it tops out. So very clever labelling there. I quite like that. Okay, so the ingredients are water, barley, rye, hops and yeast. Yeah, the ordnance survey, that's what it says on the back here, that's it. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not going to read. Pardon me. I'm not going to read out everything on here. It's quite too much to read. I'm going to show you the rest of the beer. More or less the rest of the beer. And then I'm going to give it a rating. Let's tuck in and get rid of some of this head. It's not a bad head for a 2.8% ABV beer either. See if we can get some in now. There you go. That's all of the beer. So it's bottle conditioned. You can see sediment there floating to the bottom of the glass. Change the colour of the beer, change the perception of the beer, change the complete look of the beer. It's the second fermentation process. It's the natural way of carbonating a beer. If you want to know more about the second fermentation process, give it a Google, have a look, and it'll explain. But I'm going to rate this, and there's 2.8% ABV beers go. This isn't a bad one. I'm going to rate it at a... It's pretty impressive for a low ABV beer. I think the rye carries it fantastically well. 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.